Welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew, and this is today's vlog. All right, so if you regularly follow this series, you're in for a treat because this has nothing to do with the marketing agency that I usually vlog about. These are my own freelance clients here in my home state of New Jersey, and this particular client is a physical therapy office that I connected with after that networking event that I went to a few vlogs ago. She was looking for some website video for her newly launched website, as well as an internal use video that she could give to clients after their discovery call before their first visit. So we spent 5 hours together on a Friday morning capturing some B-roll of different appointments. All of her clients were okay with me filming them. And then we did some interview capture after this. And what I find funny is after 2 years of working with the marketing agency and conducting interviews for their clients, I still feel like I have a lot to learn about the interview process itself. Not only asking the questions, but what setups are best, what lighting and composition looks best for each client. And I still feel like I'm trying to find my own visual style because marketing agency clients, they have a very specific style that they're going for, and mine is still a work in progress. So luckily, this client allowed me to experiment with some aerosol atmosphere, spraying that in the background of the interview to try to add a little bit more depth to the scene. I don't think it worked out in my favor though, because I don't have any hard light sources to have the aerosol atmosphere catch those beams of light and really make it pop and look cool. It just kind of softened up the background and honestly made it a little bit lighter, which was trickier in the edit because I had to match the look of all the scenes together, and the aerosol atmosphere just made the beginning part of the interview much brighter. And she wanted a more moody, dark interview look. So that was fun. I really liked this shoot for a number of reasons. One of them being Barley, the dog you see in the shot there. He is actually an integral part of their brand. He's been there since the beginning, and he's a certified therapy dog and the owner's, number one companion. So I had no problem with him being in any of the shots. I got some great B-roll of him that I incorporated into the footage that we used for the final promo video. And yeah, he was just a great dog. But the other main reason that I loved this shoot is the time that I had to set up the interview footage. Typically, I get like 20 to 30 minutes to set up an interview, and I can get a pretty decent shot in that amount of time. But it does feel rushed at times. And with this, I didn't really have any time constraints. So I was able to really take the time to lock in the exact look that I was going for, which is a bit wider than I typically shoot for the agency clients. So you'll see that in the promo footage that I'm probably playing right now. But what that also allowed me to do in post was actually crop in just a little bit so that I was able to match up the eye line from the A cam to the B cam. That way, as a viewer, you don't have to move your eyes back and forth between those shots when I cut between those angles. And the eye line is pretty much right exactly in the same spot for the A cam that it is for the B cam, which just makes for a seamless viewing process. So I'm really proud of how this final interview look turned out. And while I'm not a graphic designer at all, I was able to make some logo animations for this client as well, which I think turned out pretty good. So I just stopped for lunch and I went to one of the restaurants where I offered my videography services a couple of vlogs ago. And at the time, I handed them a sticker with my contact info on there. The girl said she would pass along the info to the manager, and she actually remembered me when I came in today and said that she talked to the manager about video and he's interested, but doesn't have the budget for it right now. So I let her know, hey, let the manager know that I can work with whatever budget he's got going on. If he's interested and wants to talk more about the services that I offer, to give me a call, and I'd be happy to have that discussion with him. So she said she would relay that message to the manager, and I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't been in there for a few weeks. She remembered my face and made that mental note to connect me with the video services and let me know that she talked to her boss about it. So I made sure I got her name, and we had a very friendly conversation while I waited for my meal, and it was great. And I'm hoping that maybe something comes of it. Maybe the manager decides to give me a call. But either way, I think it was really cool that she at least remembered me from that interaction and made a point to start a conversation about it. So apparently New Jersey is home to one of the top 35 disc golf courses in the country or in the world or something like that. And I had no idea, but we're out here filming on probably one of the windiest days, but it's one of the first days where it hasn't been raining like crazy all week. So we've already had to push the shoot back a couple of times because of weather. So I'll take a little bit of wind, we'll see. But if you're wondering why I'm out of breath, it's because we got all the way out to the hole where we're gonna be filming, and I realized I left the tripod in the car. So I had to walk back, and now I'm walking back to the course so we can start filming. So let's cut to that footage. So this shoot was interesting because it was outdoors and the cloud coverage was all over the place. I don't have a proper diffusion setup for an outdoor scenario because one, I'm a travel videographer, so I try to keep my pack nice and light, but two, I don't do a lot of outdoor interviews. So it was a little tricky. I kept using ND filters to keep the exposure, but it made for a fun post-production and color grading process. So I'll just leave it at that. You can see that I'm holding up the monitor hood here because I lost one of the mounting brackets and I just didn't care to try to find it in my bag or gaff tape it down in the moment. So this shoot was referred to me through a friend. His buddy had come up with a new disc golf themed product and he wanted a video for the Kickstarter launch. And I pretty much said yes right away because I wanted to expand my horizons and think outside of the box because this is not a typical shoot that I would do. It was still interview based with some B-roll, but I had never had the opportunity to film disc golf before and I was up for the challenge. So we came out to the course and we tossed some discs around. So the product that's launching is basically a disc finder. So if you're out playing some disc golf with your buddies and you make a wild throw and your disc gets buried under some leaves or some snow or whatever, and you can't find it, you use a sticker that you placed on your disc and a handheld device that beeps kind of like a Geiger counter. The closer you get to your disc, it starts beeping more quickly, and then you're able to find it within 20 feet, which I didn't know there was a need for this type of product in this space, but apparently it's pretty popular. All of the surveying that he's done, the people have been really interested in it. So he's launching the campaign, I believe, this week, and we put together an awesome video for it. There were definitely some lessons learned on this shoot. Number one, don't play with your ND filter in the middle of filming when cloud coverage is happening. Just get some diffusion and throw it somewhere so that you have nice controlled light the entire time. But despite that, I was actually able to go in the edit and flex some color correcting and color grading skills to make sure the shots got as close as possible, which I feel like I did a pretty decent job. I also would have loved to try to get some more creative shots with the B-roll. I think we spent more time with the scripted part of the video, which is fine, but we didn't really have time to experiment with a lot of B-roll shots or mess around. So I think if given the opportunity to try this type of shoot again, I would want to get a little bit more creative with the type of B-roll that we came up with. All things considered, I think that shoot went really well, despite the wind, despite the chill, despite my talent not being that comfortable in front of a camera. Some of them have never even been in front of a camera before, but I think we got a lot of great shots, and I think I put together a pretty decent campaign video for them. But you can tell me by clicking the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description below. And while you're there, if you're a disc golfer or know a disc golfer who's constantly losing their discs, then maybe you want to pledge to the campaign as well. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next vlog.